Hi everybody, my name is Jessie and I do perfume reviews in ASMR format. So if you like perfume and also if you like ASMR, you are in a good place for our video today. And today I am doing a kind of fun new idea that I had. Maybe other YouTubers have done this before, I'm not sure, but basically I'm kind of like assigning a mood to each perfume that I'm going to show you, or it's more like I came up with some kind of like moods or almost like emotions or characteristics, like for example, Graceful. And then I thought, okay, what's a perfume in my collection that really seems graceful? And so I did that with quite a few different ones, and there's actually going to be a part 2. So this is part 1. I've got 12 fragrances for different moods or characteristics, and I've got a part 2 coming as well. Okay. So first descriptor or mood is fun, and I have chosen Rihanna's Nude. So this fragrance came out in 2012, and to me this fragrance is like, yeah, it just smells really fun. It's very fruity. It's fruity and white floral. It's soft, it's a bit musky, just a little bit musky, but also like juicy, fruity. It smells like a fun, feminine, summery, floral fruit punch vibe. It has a note of guava, which I swear every time I smell guava in a fragrance, it makes me think fun. Like it just gives a fun, juicy, youthful vibe. So it's got guava, some other fruit notes. It's got quite a few white florals, but I really like the white florals, how they come through. And then it's got vanilla, orchid, and musk in the base, so kind of like, sorry, I've got a phone call coming in. I don't know, I just got a new laptop and I need to figure out how to disable phone calls. Anyway, yeah, fun is the vibe for that. So that is Rihanna's Nude, and also it's super affordable, so that's fun too. Okay, second fragrance that I have, and the word that I came up with, or that I wanted to match for this one, was sophisticated. So the sophisticated fragrance that I decided to show you today, this is new to my collection as well. This is called Cedar Violet by Aerin, and as you can see, I just have the travel spray size. The bottle's really beautiful, but it's expensive, and honestly, like, I like this, but not quite enough to justify a full bottle. So Cedar Violet. So why do I say this one is sophisticated? It has quite a bit of violet that comes through, as well as I think sandalwood and cedar, but let me check. I feel like I'm definitely getting sandalwood. Yeah, to be honest, I'm probably getting a little more sandalwood than cedar. So it's definitely woody, and I feel like kind of that dry woodiness just has a kind of sophisticated, refined sort of vibe, and then the violet makes it powdery, like a just slightly powdery floral. But there's also a slightly, to me, prominent note of gardenia. Is funny because when I'm looking on Fragrantica, people are saying they smell the gardenia least of all of the notes, but I smell it prominently, and it's just because I'm really sensitive to that note. So for other people, maybe they won't smell that. But I feel like the gardenia paired with all the other notes in here, which is mainly the sandalwood, cedar, and violet, just gives like it a nice lift and almost just a touch of a like tropical floral twist, very subtle, but it makes it all together smell, yeah, like sophisticated, very put together, very like pretty, but in a very understated way, natural way. So yeah, so that is Aerin's Cedar Violet, sophisticated. Okay, and next fragrance, the word that I have for this one is decadent. Decadent. And I have chosen, this is by Julianna's Perfume, which they do inspired by fragrances. So they make fragrances that smell similar to other really popular fragrances. And I think this one is inspired by Guerlain's Gourmand Coquine. I think that's what it is. Let me look. Guerlain, yeah, Gourmand Coquine. So anyway, why is this? Oh, and this is called Call Me By Your Name by Julianna's Perfume. So why is this one decadent? Because it really is. It's really decadent. So it's got predominantly a note of chocolate, but like a dark chocolate, and there's a bit of spice to it. So it's not just like, it's not at all like a Tootsie Roll or something, although that would be nice too. But it's like a grown-up, really sexy, decadent gourmand. So yeah, it's got the like the dark chocolate. It's not so dark that it's bitter though. There's a vanilla note that comes through, as well as some other kind of ambery vanilla tones. Like we've got benzoin and labdanum and amber. There's also a brown sugar note. And then I mentioned that there's a touch of like spiciness that comes through, and that's from a pink pepper note. So that's mainly what I get, is like chocolate, vanilla, and a little bit of amberiness, and then a touch of that pink pepper. So yeah, this is like perfect for winter. Like totally like a cozy gourmand winter kind of vibe. Really, yeah, sexy, decadent, but in a grown adult sort of way, like not overly sweet. It is sweet, but it's really not too sweet. It's just very decadent. So that's Julianna's Perfume, Call Me By Your Name. Okay, and then next fragrance that I have to show you, the word for this one is daring. Daring, so think like, yeah, a little bold, a little adventurous. And the fragrance that I have for this one, this is Fenty. It's just called Fenty. And this is Rihanna's brand, so I've got another Rihanna fragrance in this video. I really hope that Rihanna comes out with more fragrances from her Fenty line. I mean, maybe she has already, honestly, I wouldn't know. Let me know if she has, but I really love this one, and I think it is definitely unique. The reason that I describe it as daring is because, to me, it's kind of bold. It's kind of like, it's got a few things about it that I would say are kind of daring. So it's like almost sour. It's a little bit tart from the tangerine note. It also has a blueberry note, so I feel like those fruity notes are almost a bit tart, or like almost a bit fermented, which I know doesn't sound very good, but I like it. And then it's got some florals in the mid, rose, geranium, and magnolia, mostly getting rose, so like a sexy rose. And then in the base there's patchouli and musk, and I get a lot of patchouli, and it comes through in a very earthy way, a bit dirty, but I honestly really like that. And it almost comes through like a little bit chocolatey, like a super dark, like an unsweetened chocolate almost. Yeah, so it's interesting. I feel like what makes it daring is the really strong, like earthy patchouli, and then the like tartness, and then the rose comes through as kind of like a heavy rose. So all of it together, to me, definitely smells a little more bold, a little more daring. It's just a touch unisex. I would still say it's feminine leaning, but it's a touch more unisex. So again, wearing it as like a feminine woman, to me, feels just a little bit more daring. So anyway, I really like this one. Fenty by Rihanna. Okay, next fragrance, and the word that I have for this one is delicate. And yeah, this fragrance is really delicate. This one is newer to my collection. I did a video on it not too long ago. And this is another super affordable one. This is Guess 1981. Super affordable. I think I paid like $12, something really affordable. So this, it's really delicate, subtle. It's like a just slightly elevated skin scent. It's musky, powdery. It's got violet. That's kind of the main note you get through coming through. A powdery violet, but it's like a very clean. It's like a clean, musky violet. So if you're scared off by violet, like you definitely smell it, but it's like a really friendly, approachable formulation of violet, I would say. Just very clean, a little bit fresh, a little bit almost of a fresh laundry vibe, but not at all sharp. It's like a soft, delicate floral. Let me see what other notes we have coming through. Oh yeah, so in addition to the musk, we have ambrette, which is like I think it's a seed, yeah, but it's like a fluffy plant musk, so you definitely get that coming through. There's also sandalwood and cedar, but like really subtle, so it's honestly like a little bit of this vibe because these three all have sandalwood, cedar, and violet. But this one to me, I get more white florals coming through, and it's just stronger for sure. In the dry down, you really have leftover gardenia in the dry down. I would say with the Guess 1981, it's very subtle, and honestly, you might hardly not, be able to smell it much after a couple hours. If you have a good nose, which I can say at this point after being pregnant, it's just done something to my senses and I have a better nose. I do smell this hours later. Like if I spray this the night before, I do smell it in the morning 8 hours later. It's just very subtle, so keep that in mind. But the word is delicate, so I chose this for a reason. It's delicate. Be a great scent when you're not trying to smell like much at all. Like work, for example, if you work especially in like healthcare, or you're just around people where you're trying to not like draw too much attention to yourself. So that's Guess 1981 Delicate. It's not called Delicate, I'm calling it Delicate. Okay, so next fragrance, and the word that I chose for this one is peaceful. Peaceful. And this is by the brand Hermes, and this is Le Jardin de Monsieur. I always say that wrong. It's Le Jardin. I think it's Le Jardin because it's French. If it was like Spanish, it'd be Jardin, but I think it's Le Jardin de Monsieur Lee. So that means the garden of Mr. Lee. And this is from their Le Jardin line, the garden line, which just has a bunch of like fresh garden type smells. I just love this fragrance. I love it. It's so natural. Like if you truly want a fragrance that does not smell like perfume but just smells natural, but is not an essential oil, because essential oils just don't last that long, I've found. This one I really recommend. So this is very simple in its note breakdown. It just has kumquat, jasmine, mint, and green sap. So I feel like even those colors just feel like so calming, because the green from the mint and the green sap with a little touch of white and orange from the jasmine and kumquat. So like, yeah, the green, the mint is definitely like a little bit cool tone and like chill, but then it's mixed with the kumquat, which is like a little bit more happy and vibrant, and then jasmine, which is just like beautiful floral. So altogether, it's a very like simple, linear fragrance, very natural, and just like, the reason I say that it's like peaceful is it just honestly makes me feel zen. It's like a little bit calm, a little bit happy, like just very balanced and in harmony. I need to wear this more. I've just got too many fragrances, but I really like this one. This would be great for summertime, which right now is like August 19th. This probably won't be posted for a while after that. But anyway, so yeah, this is my peaceful fragrance, Le Jardin de Monsieur. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Okay, next, and the word that I come up with next is Graceful. And I have the ultimate Graceful fragrance for you. This is Chanel Chance Eau Tendre, and this is the Eau de Parfum version. There's also an Eau de Toilette. That one I would say is less graceful in my mind. The Eau de Toilette to me is a little bit more like, it's got more citrus, so to me it's almost more like fresh and invigorating vibe, whereas this one I would say is like really graceful because it's floral. So we've got rose coming through, that's the main note. So rose to me just always smells like graceful, feminine. And then there's also quince, but it's not coming through in like a fruity, juicy way. It's just subtle quince. There's also grapefruit, but really it's not too bright. It just adds a little bit of citrusy freshness. And then in the base we have musk, and you do get quite a bit of musk, which to me, it's the combo of the musk and rose that I think really makes this graceful. It's also just like subtle. It's not a strong fragrance, so I feel like that as well in my mind makes it graceful. It's just like a very beautiful, silky, smooth kind of smell, very feminine, timeless. I would also say like sophisticated kind of vibe. Yeah, sophisticated, but in a very like feminine way. So yeah, graceful. That's the word I came up with. So yeah, I really like this one. Chanel Chance Eau Tendre, and again, this is the Eau de Parfum concentration. Okay, next word that I came up with was wise, and I came up with this word because I kind of wanted to challenge myself of like, we don't really think of fragrances as wise. So I thought of the word wise, and I was like, okay, what's a fragrance in my collection that somehow seems wise? And I came up with, this is by the brand Arquiste, and it's called the Architects Club. This is a decant from the brand Scentbird. So the Architects Club, this is a woody fragrance. I believe that's why it's called the Architects Club. I mean, when I think of architects, I do kind of think of wood because I think of building, and you know, a lot of building materials are wood. So anyway, this is a woody vanilla. So it's got a few woods coming through. It's got oak, gaiac wood, and pepperwood. And then it's got vanilla, which I would say is the main note that I get. But it's like a very refined vanilla. It's a very like smart, chic vanilla. And then there's some other notes. We've got some citrus notes that come through in like not too sweet of a way, like almost just like a kind of fresh way. Then there's some kind of green notes like angelica and juniper berries. So all together, it's like a little bit, it's like vanilla with woody and aromatic nuances. It smells fairly natural, and just like, yeah, the reason I said wise was because like, I mean, when I think of wood, I just think like timeless and wise, like oak especially. Oak just makes me think so grounded, you know. And then the vanilla, I don't know, all of it to me, when I had to choose a fragrance that resonated with that word, I just thought this one just smells very like grounded and timeless, and like it's just got subtle knowledge that's powerful. Okay, so that is the Architects Club by Arquiste. Moving on, next word that I came up with was romantic. Romantic, and the fragrance that I chose is Givenchy's very irresistible Eau de Toilette. Eau de Toilette. There is an Eau de Parfum, and there's quite a few other flankers in this very irresistible line. This one is the Eau de Toilette, and I honestly have not smelled just the Eau de Parfum and the other flankers. I would really love to, but I love this one so much, and it does smell very romantic. It's a rose fragrance, but you get quite a bit of other facets too. It's actually pretty simple in its notes. It's just got 4 notes, well, according to Fragrantica at least. So it's rose, which I think I get most of all. There's also star anise, verbena, and patchouli. So you definitely get the star anise. It gives it like a kind of warm, spicy, licoricey smell, which I just love, absolutely love in this fragrance. The verbena gives it a bit of freshness, and then the patchouli is there. It's subtle, but again, just gives it like a kind of earthy, almost slightly like warm spiciness. So this to me is just so pretty. It's really well blended, and just it just feels balanced. And yeah, to me it's very romantic. It's sexy, but a little bit, I don't want to say girly. It's like womanly. It's womanly. Yeah, very romantic. This was the scent that I chose to wear on my wedding day, and I did think about that quite a bit and kind of went back and forth with some different perfumes that I had in mind, but I did choose this, and I think I chose it in part because it does just feel very romantic. So I didn't have that word in my mind in particularly at the time, but now looking back, I think, yeah, that's kind of why I chose it. Very romantic. And of course, rose. I don't know, rose on your wedding day to me. I know a lot of people do white florals on their wedding, but because you're wearing white typically, but I feel like rose to me is just more of like a wedding floral, I would say. Okay, so that is very irresistible Eau de Toilette by Givenchy. Next fragrance, the word for this one is unconventional. Unconventional, and the fragrance that I have chosen is by the brand Ellis Brooklyn, and this one's called Salt. I absolutely love the bottle, don't you? It's just like a really bright blue sea glass. So this is definitely an unconventional fragrance, so much so that it's really not a safe blind buy. I think a lot of people would not like this, but I really like it. So this is it's called Salt, and you do smell salt. It's like a salty, kind of effervescent, ozonic type of feel. It does have a beachy feel, but not in like a coconut suntan lotion way at all. So we've got definitely like an ambery, like an airy amberiness coming through. There's a note of ambergris as well as musk. So I feel like that all comes through in like a light, sparkly ambergris type way. It's crazy. There's actually no salt note in here, which it's like, I just feel like there should be, because that's what I'm smelling. Ambergris has a saltiness to it, but I feel like that's not enough to explain what I'm getting from this. And then there's violet leaves, which I do get a touch of because it comes through a little powdery. Ylang ylang, which definitely gives it that tropical kind of vibe. There's also tiare, so again, that gives it kind of a tropical floral smell. There's some sandalwood in the base, so it's kind of like an airy, almost a little like grainy, ozonic smell. Tropical ozonic smell. It's really interesting. But I like this definitely for the summer, and it is very unconventional. Not a safe blind buy. A little bit out there, I would say. But yeah, so that is Salt by Ellis Brooklyn. Okay, we just have 2 more fragrances to go over for this part 1 of the video. The word I have for the next fragrance is fluffy. Fluffy, fluffy. So this is more of like a sensory descriptive word. Fluffy. And the fragrance I have to show you for that one is Sweet Tooth by Sabrina Carpenter. I got this fragrance like in a bundle of other samples, so that's the only reason I have it. And I wasn't gonna keep it, but honestly, I like it. It's really I don't have a lot of super sweet fragrances, and this is. It's very sweet, girly, for sure. Fluffy. It's like a really sweet marshmallow, kind of along the lines of like an Ariana Grande fragrance. And I just liked it. I found it fun. I found it sweet, but somehow not too much. When you spray it on yourself, you smell it, but it's not like super out there. It definitely has a more intimate projection and just kind of hangs around you. Definitely good for fall and winter, I would say, but like it's not too strong that you couldn't wear it in spring and summer even. And yeah, it's very fluffy. It honestly is like a sweet marshmallow. I think it must have quite a lot of like musk. Let's see, yeah, musk, whipped cream, marshmallow, cashmere wood. So all of those notes, and coconut milk, all of those notes totally give like a fluffy vibe. Oh yeah, I like didn't even say what it smells like. But yeah, it smells gourmand. Like this is straight up gourmand. So main notes coming through: whipped cream, marshmallow, chocolate, vanilla, just a touch of coconut, musk. So yeah, just like fun, sweet, fluffy, but not like overly strong. So yeah, that is Sweet Tooth by Sabrina Carpenter. Okay, and then the last fragrance that I have to show you, and the word that I have for this one is feminine. There's been a few others that I feel are kind of blending into that same word, but like I just wanted to come up with a decent list of words. So feminine fragrance that I thought for this word is another Ellis Brooklyn fragrance, and this one is called Myth. This fragrance is just it's soft, floral, smooth. Yeah, okay, so this is like very musky, soft floral. The floral notes that we have coming through, I would say mostly I'm getting lotus. Yeah, so we've got like a kind of a watery, almost like a slight aquatic vibe to this fragrance. A little bit soapy, but in a very like smooth, musky, soapy way. So we've got musk and ambrette seed in here. There's the lotus, pink lotus coming through, a couple other florals, and then there's like some kind of fresh notes like cassis and bergamot. But yeah, to me mainly this is just like a very soft, dewy, fresh, slightly aquatic floral. It's subtle, it's definitely close to the skin, it doesn't project a lot, doesn't last that long either. But yeah, I would just say very feminine smell. Nothing about it that to me smells masculine. So that is Ellis Brooklyn's Myth. Okay, so those are all of the fragrances for part 1. I hope you enjoyed this concept, and stay tuned for part 2, which I might be able to film today if my daughter is able to keep napping. But part 2 is going to have another 12 fragrances. Okay, I hope you all take care. Sending you peace, love, beauty, and harmony. And I'll catch you all soon. Bye.